Testing. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Mr. Trump. Good night. Good day.
Good to see that there's a lot of energy in here. And we want to say that this event is being live streamed. Thank you, Mr. Kilpatrick. This is live streamed. The link will be sent out to your parents and teachers. So please be on your best behavior. This video will also be viewable later on. It's also sent to your email. So that we're going to go over some of the things going into your senior year. Thank you, guys. So I want to first say congratulations to all of you for making it to the end of the year and that you're here today. Today is the last week of school. So congratulations for being here. So without further ado, I'm going to get the presentation started. Principal Butler will be joining us momentarily, but I want to get things started with this. So we are going to start things off. Okay, so class 2024 senior year expectations. So you're going to become a senior next year. So we're going to talk about some of the important points for next school year going into your senior year. First, I want to remind you of Dyett High School's mission. The Walter H. Dyett High School for the Arts prepares students for college and career by providing them with a world-class arts education and rigorous core curriculum that fosters creativity, innovation, critical thinking, and problem solving. That's our mission. Next, we have our vision. Walter H. Dyett High School for the Arts will change students' life trajectories and develop the next generation of leaders and problem solvers by tapping into their creative genius and preparing them for post-secondary experiences. Core values. All students have the ability to learn, and students' learning is at the heart of everything we do. We take calculated risk in order to engage students and help them achieve at high levels. Okay, so those are our core values. Got it? Okay, so with that said, many of you have done really well this school year, but I do want to remind everybody that for you to be a senior, you must have at least 17 credits. You must have at least 17 credits. If you don't have that, please check with your counselor after the presentation. And then also as a reminder, you can only earn 3.5 credits in each semester. So normally, each one of your semesters, semester 1, 3.5 credits, semester 2, 3.5 credits. A total school year, you have 7 credits. So you should have 17 credits going into your senior year. And complete all CPS academic graduation requirements means that you have to get not only the credits, guys and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, not only that you have to pass your classes, you have to pass other required items such as the Constitution exam, driver's ed, consumer ed, taking the SAT, which most of you have, but not everybody. So just a reminder, those things need to be done too. You also need to complete 2 service learning projects that will be given to you as a part of your civics class and also your senior seminar class. Do we have questions? We'll take questions at the end of the presentation. And also, going into your senior year, this goes for everybody. You have to complete 5 college applications. Even for some of you who are not thinking about colleges right now, even if you're thinking about the military or trades, we need you to apply to 5 colleges. And then you also must complete 3 scholarship applications. And your teachers, your counselors will be here to help you with that. But that's the expectation. Next slide. You also must complete, this is the graduation requirement, the FAFSA application, the free application for federal student aid. That'll become available October 1st of this year. Gentlemen, just a reminder, this event is being live streamed. They can hear you. So this application for financial aid must be completed before the end of the school year, but it will be available October 1st. You also must submit Learn, Plan, Succeed evidence to Schoolings, which is a new system that we'll be using. And also as a reminder, some of you have credit recovery, that Apex is a luxury and not an obligation by Dyett. So, and no new rules are going to be put in place. There are limits on how many classes you can recover through Apex. So by default, in-person credit recovery such as summer school and night school are the defaults. So remember, Apex is a luxury that Principal Bull is providing to you. So if you have Apex, please take advantage of this and complete it as soon as possible. Lastly, you must be in medical compliance. So your medical immunization forms must be turned in. Okay, here are some of the graduation requirements. Just an overview. You have to have at least 1 credit in career ed, half credit in civics, which you'll be taking next year, 1 credit in computer science, which you'll also be taking next year. You have to have at least 3 electives, 4 English credits, your English 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you'll be doing next year, 2 years of fine arts, 3 years of science, which includes biology, chemistry, and physics, 3 years of math, algebra, geometry, and algebra trig from this year, at least 2 years of gym, at least 3 years of social science, which includes world studies, U.S. history, and also y'all have civics next year. And then lastly, 2 years of Spanish. I'll take questions at the end. Okay, and also the district-wide assessment. So the SAT for all of you, you must take the in-person SAT and not the SAT outside of Dyett. You also must complete the driver's ed course, complete the FAFSA application, as I just mentioned, and the consumer ed will be offered as part of your senior seminar class. Health class should be, you should have completed it in your freshman year, and also you have to submit your post-secondary plans, Learn, Plan, Succeed. Constitution exam and 2 service learning projects. Okay, so just a reminder, FAFSA, free application for FAFSA, federal student aid, is now being put into law. It's a graduation requirement for all Illinois high school graduates. So it's no longer optional. Even if you're going to work, even if you're going to join the military or join a trades program, you still have to complete the FAFSA in order for you to graduate from Dyett High School. Counseling Corner. So everything that we mentioned is on the Dyett website. You can go on to newdyett.org and look into more information on Learn, Plan, Succeed graduation requirements. And also if you want to learn more information about the FAFSA, the 2023-2024 application, we have the information on the website for you also. We do have one-on-one appointments available. Mr. Kilpatrick, Ms. Mathis, or any of the counselors are here to work with you. So make sure you look into that and set up the appointment early. There are other support systems that are in place outside of the counselors who are here to work with you at Dyett. There's also representatives from ISEC, Illinois Student Aid Commission, that are up there, a nonprofit program to help with FAFSA. And also we have city colleges, who usually Ms. Watson have been working with us this past school year. But she is going to move on to another position, so there'll be a new representative from city colleges. So any one of us can help you with financial aid and college applications. And also just as a reminder, you have to take the Dyett-based SAT. The Dyett-based SAT, which most of you already took back in April. If you haven't taken it, there's a handful of students. You must take it with us next year.
Tom,
Okay.
one quick thing. We got a question here. You want to answer it now or go back and do questions later?
Okay, I can answer the question. Do you know what the question was?
What's acceptable for the service learning credit?
Okay, so that's a great question. What is acceptable for the service learning credit? It has to be a teacher-led activity. There has to be a learning component and a research component and a reflection component. So this is a system that's been put in place just before the pandemic. So you can no longer go off on your own to do volunteer work for other agencies, for other programs. You have to do your service learning at Dyett, led by a teacher. So Ms. Bryson, the past year, has led students to do a food donation or prepare food packages to third world countries. It's called Feed My Starving Children. So that is approved activity, and also Ms. Bryson also had worked with the senior team with clean up the park. So the trash pickup, those are approved activities. So make sure you follow by your teachers, your seminar teacher's instructions, or see Ms. Bryson or see Ms. BG for more information on service learning. And don't just go off on your own to do work thinking that you'll be given credit.
Pardon the interruption. We're asking that all juniors for the sixth period report to the black box. All juniors, please report to the black box for your sixth period. Thank you.
Okay, so just very quickly, there are 6 possible pathways for you to meet the graduation requirement. You have to provide concrete, solid evidence. And these are, for most of our Dyett students, will be college. If you're going to college, we need the financial award letter, not just the acceptance letters. So basically, the financial aid you're going to be getting to that college you'll be attending, how much the tuition costs, that statement is proof for the college pathway. There's also students who are interested in going to work. If you're going into the employment pathway, we need either the paycheck stub, if you already have been working for them, for your business, for your company or your manager, we need the paycheck stub or a letter, formal letter from your manager. That's the only way that satisfies the employment. Military, we need you to take the ASWAB, the military skill test. Also, for you to sign the actual enlistment contract for you to be considered for military. Not just for you to show interest, but you actually have to sign your name on the legal contract for that to meet the military pathway. The gap year program, I want everyone to pay close attention to. The gap year program is not just you staying at home. It requires experiential learning. So which means you will have to sign up for a nonprofit or volunteer agency. So it's not just you staying at home. It's a formal program that you sign up for. So make sure if you are thinking about gap year, you have to be able to provide proof as to which program you sign up for. Staying at home, watching Netflix, playing on Xbox, that's not an option. Job training programs, so a program that gets you ready to be working, those are allowed. And apprenticeships, which would require you to join a on-the-job training official program like carpentry or electrician unions as an apprentice, those are accepted also. So, Mr. Kilpatrick, are there any questions at this time?
No, I was just probably one of these students putting up rude comments that I was just deleting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kilpatrick. Now I'm going to bring up Ms. Wilson, our other school counselor, to talk to you guys.
Okay, so listen, the college application process, guys. So not only do we want you to apply for 5 colleges, there is a whole process. So in your advisory classes next year, you'll be going over this process as well as you can do it on your own or at home with your parents. But you would apply to the college. So whether it's the website, it's Common App, however you decide to apply. However, you also have to submit proof that you applied. So if you did it through Common App, a screenshot saying, hey, thank you for applying, or even the email that you get from the colleges, you'll show us proof that you actually applied to the college. You'll put it on school links. So Mr. Chung did briefly talk about school links, but basically we will be using school links instead of Naviance next year. So all of your data from Naviance does transfer over to school links, but it'll be a whole different platform, okay? It's supposed to be more user-friendly. So as we get introduced to it, we'll be sending you guys emails as well. So very important, and I can't stress this enough, check your email. We're going to be sending emails often regarding different things that are happening for your senior year. You'll get emails through the summer, so please just make sure you're checking your email. So again, The first semester, we want you guys to apply for FAFSA. That application opens October 1st. Then applying to the colleges. So, depending on what schools you want to go to, their applications pretty much open in September, October as well. We want you to, in the first semester, at least have applied to one scholarship. So by the end of the year, we want you to have applied to 3, but that first semester, we do want you to have 1 done. Your personal statement. So many of you are already working on that in your English classes. But if you're not, please just start working on that, because again, you'll provide those to the colleges, and you can use them for scholarships as well. Transcripts. So basically, when you apply to the schools, they want to see a copy of your transcript, and it needs to be official. So that's where that screenshot saying thank you for applying, that you're showing your counselor, so we can make sure that we get the transcript sent over to your schools or colleges that you're applying to. So again, we'll have different resources available for you guys next year. Of course, advisory/seminar, you will all have an advisory. In addition, you can request a one-on-one meeting. So if you need to meet with your counselor, please request a meeting. We also will be requesting meetings of you guys as well. So when we know that there's something outstanding, we may say, hey, shoot you a chat or an email. We need to see you, so we can take care of those outstanding issues. We'll have college application workshops. It'll be during school and after school. So again, these are some resources that we will have available. And then also Apex Lab. So as Mr. Chung stated, Apex will look a little bit different next year, and this is only for students who need it. So if you don't have credit recovery, you do not have to worry about Apex. But if you do, we will outline what that looks like coming soon.
Some students do not have an advisory. Please advise how they will be able to work with the school counselor during senior year.
So for senior year, the students will have an advisory class and will be assigned. For students who don't have advisory now, they should have a computer science class. And so we have been visiting those classes to get the things that they need.
You got a question?
Yeah. It was about fees.
We haven't got there yet. There we go.
Just making sure.
Okay, so again, School Links is replacing Naviance. We don't have a lot of information about it at this time, so I do apologize. We're just waiting to get that correspondence from the network. But as of right now, from what I understand, it looks similar to Naviance, just a little bit easier. So all the tasks that were in Naviance will be in School Links as well, but just a little easier layout. So again, college applications. When you're applying to those schools, you're adding the school to School Links. That's how we get the alert that's saying, hey, at least you are interested in this school, so we can possibly send over that transcript. Fee waivers. So depending on the financial situation, students are given fee waivers. Most of our students can qualify for a fee waiver, so we will upload those into your School Links account. So it's not something you would have to ask for. SAT scores. So a lot of schools want your scores directly from College Board. So I know a lot of you have access to College Board because you've looked up your scores already, but if you do not have access, we need to get that fixed now, because they will want you to send the SAT scores. We can't send them for you. Again, transfer requests, it'll look a little bit easier once we start doing it. Right now, this is stuff that'll kind of go over the head, but we'll help you guys out with that. Okay, Posse. The Posse scholarship. So, we have sent out correspondence, we've had meetings about the Posse scholarship. So it is a full tuition merit-based scholarship, full tuition. So meaning they will pay whatever your tuition is to one of the 10 schools that they have provided. However, you still will have to pay for room and board. You will be responsible for that. So not to be confused with full ride, it's just full tuition. So again, they only partner with 10 schools in the Chicago area, or not even in our area, but Chicago is only partnered with 10 schools. So, let's see. Okay, so we are still taking nominees. So if you are interested, Mr. Trump has sent an email. There's a Google sheet that you can actually fill out so we can get you started with the process. Again, it's a great opportunity, full tuition. They do partner with a lot of art schools, so it may be something that you guys are interested in. So here are the schools that they're partnering with. So Connecticut College, Cornell, DePaul. These are all the schools that you can get a full tuition if you are selected as a Posse Scholar. So again, the applications are up and running. They'll start doing interviews over the summer. Typically, they start with group interviews and then narrow it down to individual interviews. And again, the purpose of the Posse is to work as a group. So they'll get you with groups of people so that you won't feel alone in college. So other scholarship opportunities. So CPS does have a scholarship website. So we will be sharing this presentation with you guys so you can see. And also, while Navion still is up and going, you can type in academic work or do a Google search for CPS scholarships or academic work, and you can start signing up if you have not already done so. So just make sure you're registering for emails from the scholarship starter program. Also, checking that email. So as we get information about different scholarships, we're going to email it to you guys. So we just want to make sure you guys are alert. So summer employment, guys, I know Mr. Culler talked about 2 weeks ago about getting jobs. So right now we are done from Dyett standpoint. However, there are still more jobs out there. So if you guys can go to One Summer Chicago and After School Matters to apply for summer jobs. So they're both still looking for people. So if you want to work this summer, please make sure you visit one of those websites. Okay, Chicago Build. So this program is still taking applications as well. So it's a 2-year construction trade program for 11th and 12th graders. All applicants must be on track to graduate. So again, like Mr. Chunk stated, we need you guys to have those 17 credit hours if you're thinking about applying to Chicago Build. They meet at Dunbar High School. They have a morning or a PM cohort. So they would go, you would go to Dunbar first and then come here for your afternoon classes or vice versa. Students will be provided bus cards if you want to take the bus or if you need to take the bus to Dunbar and to here. And in addition, you can still earn credits for our school as well. So you'll be able to trade and earn credits. Okay, so this page can be found on the Dyett website. So newdyett.org, you will go to Counselor's Corner, and here we have different links. So if you look, it has the introduction to our team, and also like, hey, that's completion if you finish that. The transfer request, that's there. So college application checklist and different scholarships. So if there is something that you need and the counselors aren't available, please make sure you're looking at this page because we're updating that as well. Okay, and so school fees.
Okay, guys, so this is some of the fun stuff and not so fun stuff. So I know somebody mentioned fees. So every year that you're in high school, you have a school fee that you're supposed to pay. Every year, it's $200 per year. So as of right now, you should have paid $600. If you have not, you have a balance, okay? In your senior year, in addition to the 200, there's an extra 100. So your senior year is a total of $300. That extra $100 is for your cap and gowns, your diplomas, your diploma covers, all of that. It does not include senior activities. It is just for what it says, cap and gowns, tassels, diplomas, diploma covers, that's it. Okay, so by your senior year, you will have incurred a total of $900 for student fees. Some of you all may have been paying every year or what have you, but next year, you'll have a total of $900 if you have not paid anything. Now, I know that may seem like a lot, but there are ways that you can pay that. Mrs. Burrell, how many of you all know who Mrs. Burrell is? Okay, she's in the office with myself and Mr. Culler. She's a business manager. She is the lady that you speak to about fees. So if you're not sure what your balance is to date, she can tell you that today, so what you have to pay and what you have looking forward. The deadline for all fees, including that senior fee, so all 4 years of your fees, the deadline is Thursday, December 21st. That is before we go on our Christmas break, okay? So your fees must be paid by that date. You can make up payment plans, do whatever you need to do to figure that out. If you need to have a conversation, your mom or parent guardian need to have a conversation with Ms. Burrell, I encourage you to do that sooner rather than later. Because every year, we have students that wait until the last minute and say, oh, I didn't know I owed this much. So be proactive instead of reactive. Being proactive means you're gonna have these conversations before school gets out, during the summer, whatever needs to take place. She is available via email, phone, whatever you need to do, make sure you're having those conversations so that when December comes, you're not kind of caught off guard and surprised by the amount of fees that you have to pay, okay? Question?
Are fee waivers available for that?
So, listen, with fee waivers, I don't want you all to get confused. Fee waivers can be given out, but it's not a guarantee that you will get one, okay? And even if you receive a fee waiver, it does not waive the entire amount. It only waives a portion of it. So don't think that a fee waiver gives you a clean slate, because it does not. If you are deemed eligible for a fee waiver, it will only waive a portion of it, okay? So I don't want you to think that, oh, I filled out this fee waiver and I'm good. No, that's not how it works. So once again, those conversations need to be had with Mrs. Burrell about fees, okay? Terrence?
All right, so for registration, instead of paying the 200, it's gotta be paying 300.
Correct.
All right.
That is correct. His question was, at registration, when you all come for registration, instead of paying 200, you pay 300. That is correct. Only if you have not paid previous years. So when you come for registration, Mrs. Burrell will have a table at registration, and she'll be able to tell you what your outstanding balance is, and then you can go forward. But once again, don't wait until registration. Find out now, so that throughout the summer, you can have some type of action plan, okay? I encourage you all, before you leave for summer on Wednesday, find out from Mrs. Burrell what you owe. If you're not sure, if you think you paid, doesn't matter, just double check, it can't hurt, better be safe than sorry, okay? So the next thing we have is, these are some of the, these are all the senior dates that we have for you. So your senior trip is Saturday, May 4th, okay? Saturday, May 4th is your senior trip. And so you'll get this information as well in email. What Ms. Wilson mentioned earlier about checking your emails, it is crucial that you check emails, because we send this stuff out rigorously. And it never fails, people say, oh, I didn't know. Check your email, okay? So the date of the trip, and then you have the due date. These are all the prices for your senior events. So the senior trip is $75. It is a day trip to Kings Island. That is in Ohio. So we will leave early in the morning, get there, spend some hours there, and then turn around and come back home that evening, okay? The $75 covers your entrance into the park, covers your meals and drinks for the day, and it also helps to offset some of the costs of transportation, okay? So you don't have to do anything about meals unless you want to bring extra money for whatever. But that $75 covers your entrance into the park, and it covers your food for the day, okay? Senior luncheon is $50, and that is Wednesday, May 8th, okay? It's at a venue called Pinstripes. We went there this year with our seniors, and it was an amazing time we had, okay? So during the luncheon, you receive, you know, your certificates and things like that, and then the end is you can bowl and do all types of things. It's on the river, so it's a really nice venue. They had a great time. And it's only for students. Every year, parents always ask if they can go. It's only for students, okay? Senior prom, Friday, May 17th. It is $125 per person. So that means if you're bringing a date, it's $250, okay? Do the math. per person. So if you're bringing your date, 125 times 2. And with dates, there's a form that needs to be filled out, and it has to be given to your prospective date. Their school needs to fill it out, bring it back, because the administration here needs to sign off on whether your date is approved or not. But as we get closer, we'll, make mention of all these things. I know it's a lot of information that you're getting right now, but we just kind of want to give you the highlights. Sports banquet. It's not just for seniors, it's for everyone, but we also have a lot of senior athletes. So we give out awards for everybody that plays sports, but we also recognize our senior athletes that night as well. For the banquet, it is $20 per person, although the athletes are free. So if you're bringing a guest, your guests have to pay $20. And then lastly, graduation is Saturday, May 25th, okay? It is at Mount Carmel on their football field. It's always a nice day. It's outside. Sometimes it can be hot, sometimes it can be warm. This past year, I think the weather was pretty decent. Sun was shining, nice little breeze, wasn't too bad. So we don't know exactly how many tickets we're gonna give. It always really depends on what's going on at the time. So as we get closer to graduation, we'll let you guys know the amount of tickets that you'll be getting. 1 year was 4, this year was 6. So, it won't be less than 6. But the last couple of years has been 6 tickets. So I know it won't be less than that, okay? Now, these are all lovely, wonderful dates. And we would love for everyone to be able to participate. However, participation is based off of eligibility, okay? Eligibility, there are 4 factors into eligibility. Your grades, your attendance, your behavior, and financial. So you have to be eligible across all 4 categories before we would even let you pay for any of this. The main thing is, if you have outstanding fees, we will not allow you to pay for any senior activities. That's one. Pay your fees first before you can even entertain the idea of paying for senior activities, right? Then with attendance, you should be coming to school every day on time. It's not just daily attendance, but it's also class attendance. Are you going to your classes or are you cutting? So I get all of this information and I verify it with Ms. Fleming. So if your attendance is not where it's supposed to be, you could potentially not be eligible to attend, okay? Behavior infractions. That is, it's really case by case. So are you getting into fights? Are you getting suspended? Are you spending your days in the refocus room? All of that, goes into the behavior eligibility, okay? And we talk closely with the deans to get that information to see how your behavior is, okay? So please, please, please make sure that you're doing what you need to do in the classroom as far as your grades go, because no Fs are allowed to attend any of these events, okay? No Fs, 0 Fs. Ds, we don't want Ds either, but sometimes we understand how the teacher grades. So we say no Ds and Fs, but definitely no Fs. So if you're failing classes, why should you be allowed to leave school to go have fun when you're not doing what you need to do in the classroom, right? So we're telling you this now so that when you get here next August, that you know what you have to do to make sure that you have an absolutely amazing senior year so that you can participate in every single senior event, right? Are there any questions?
We got a couple.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
With the fees, it's a deadline, right?
That is correct. The deadline to have all fees paid, December 21st. That's why I'm telling you, talk to Mrs. Burrell now. Don't wait until registration. Don't wait until August when you get back to school. Have that conversation now so that you know what you need to do moving forward, okay?
Can you repeat the date of prom? They can't really read it on here.
So prom, I'll go over all the dates again. So deadline for all 4 years worth of fees is Thursday, December 21st, okay? Then your senior trip is $75, and that date is Saturday, May 4th. That's the day of the senior trip. Your senior luncheon is $50, and it will be on Wednesday, May 8th. Senior prom, $125 per person, and that is Friday, May 17th. The sports banquet is $20 for your guests. Athletes are free. That is Tuesday, May 21st. And graduation is Saturday, May 25th, okay? Let me just repeat one thing about prom, because I know that's always a hot topic. So, my ladies, you must get your dress approved, okay? You must get your dress approved by either myself, the principal. Show us what you have in mind, and we'll say, yes, that's acceptable. You might need to tweak it here, you might need to tweak it there. This year, we didn't say no to anyone's dress. We said no to no one's dress this year, okay? Because they came looking really good. And they made the modifications that we asked. So I don't want you to think when I'm saying you gotta get your dress approved, they're gonna say, a blatant no. We didn't disapprove anyone's dress this year, okay? So just make sure, I know that some of you all start early trying to get these dresses made. If you have an idea in mind as what you want to wear to prom, just show us a picture and we'll say yes or no. Or you may need to make this modification, okay? Any questions?
Will all this information be sent to parents?
This information is emailed a lot, okay? It comes from my email, fmathis1@cps.edu. So when you see important message, senior events, please open it up. Because I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't know, okay? I will send this email. Ms. Wilson said the slide deck will be shared with you, but this information is gonna come as like a 2 or 3 page document because it outlines every event and it gives specific information, deadlines, what's gonna happen. So please read it. If you have any questions, call me, email me, whatever you need to do to get clarification if there's something that you don't understand or we haven't, outlined it, thoroughly enough for you.
2 more questions came in. One, they want to know why his young lady's outfits and bodies being policed, and then the other question is about dual enrollment.
Okay. So attire for prom. The question is why do we need to approve dresses? Because we want to make sure that we're holding our ladies to an acceptable standard. Why would you want to come to an event half naked? I'm really being honest here. So these events and venues that we go, they're very nice, they're beautiful, and we want our young men and women to look elegant, not coming half dressed. I mean, that's as plain as I can make it. And no one has ever come not looking beautiful. And that goes for our young men and women. They come looking amazing every year.
Yeah, and then will dual enrollment be provided at Dyett or another school?
So it's a difference between dual enrollment and dual credit. Dual enrollment means you're enrolled at Dyett and another institution, so probably a city college, whereas dual credit is you're getting your education here. However, you're getting a college credit while we talk here. So yes, we will have some dual credit classes. I'm not quite sure as we get approval for them, we will send those out in emails. But dual credit is available. We have been sending emails all semester for students to sign up for dual credit. So with the city colleges, you're still able to sign up for fall classes, summer classes. I think the deadline may have passed, but I can follow up on that.
Yeah, that's it.
So, senior pictures. So, every year, this happens every year, we have senior pictures. We have a month for you to take your pictures. It's the month of July. These are all the Saturdays in July, excluding the first, because that's the holiday weekend. So we, don't want to interrupt your holiday weekend if you choose to celebrate July 4th. But your senior picture dates are Saturday, July 8th, July 15th, July 22nd, and July 29th. So you have 30 minutes. Every session is 30 minutes. So you'll be allowed 30 minutes for your photo session. One adult is allowed with you. You can't bring a gang of people with you for the photo session. Just one adult, okay? 21 or older. The time slots are between 9 and 12. There's a break. He takes a break for lunch from 12 to 1, and then the remaining 1 to 5. So you need to call to set up your appointment for your senior photos, okay? Now, I will be sending a price list out in an email of the different packages. It usually has like 3 or 4 different packages you can choose from with the different poses. You can, one of them will always be a cap and gown. So if you only choose a one pose, it's only a cap and gown, okay? If you choose 2 or more, one of them will be a cap and gown, and then you can change your outfit. So if you get a 3 pose package, you can have 2 outfits and cap and gown, however you want to do it. So I'll send all that information, price-wise and packages out to you in an email. But you're gonna need to call Mr. Cox, the studio directly to set up your appointment for one of those dates. If you miss one of those dates, we will have makeup dates. We don't have that just yet. He does a lot of schools, and so this is what he gave us. Now, if you miss one of these dates, the makeup date may not be until well into the school year, okay? So just keep that in mind because he does a lot of CPS schools, okay? So we've been working with him for several years. He tries to give us the first set of dates during the summer. But like I said, if you miss these dates, it may not be until November, December, maybe even January before you get a makeup date, okay? Call him directly. We don't do the photos here. We don't have anything to do with the pictures. They're done at his studio. So if you set a date, please make sure you go to the studio and not to Dyett, because every year we have students that set up their appointments and they come here. Don't do that. You're going to the studio directly, okay? So hopefully in the next week or so, I can get the prices for you so that you can start to think of what kind of packages you would like, okay? So maybe in the next week or so, next week, I'll have package pricing for you. Any questions? Were there any questions, Mr. Kilpatrick?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Mathis. Okay, so to wrap things up, this is everyone that's going to be supporting you for the next school year. So listing all the counselors, we have Ms. Mathis, Mr. Kilpatrick right here, Ms. Wilson right here, myself. Mr. McDowell was not here today, but that's all the counseling team and also our Director of Student Life, Mr. Cowler, Ms. Butler, Principal, Mr. Cole, our Assistant Principal. And also just want to note, we divide our caseloads by alphabetically by student's last name. I myself, Mr. Chung, serve students with last name from A through HA. Mr. McDowell serves students from HE through J, and Ms. Wilson serves students from Q through Z. All of our emails are not only listed on this presentation, it's also on the website. You can go to newdyett.org to look up our contact information. Are there any questions at this time? I know there were some questions earlier. No questions. Okay, thank you, Junior. We look forward in working with you for next school year. You may now go back to your sixth period lunch. And this live stream will be available if you want to look at it later on. Thank you.